Yo, 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 what is up? We are back again. It is Hoops and Brews. We ain't done this in like I want to say what this guy got the Lakers already up. Back again, Hoops and Brews. We ain't done this in like 2 weeks. That's my fault. It's because I've been gone in Chicago doing music stuff, and I covered the Bears Green Bay game with the homie Scott. That was fun. Green Bay was an interesting city. But Joe, what you been up to, bro?
Not much, man. I've been out here working, coaching. The kids is crazy. Working out. I've been hooping. I mean, Eli went on a little win streak on Saturday, little 5-game win streak at the park, running stuff. But yeah, I've been good, man. We've been out here solid, following the NBA. Excited, really excited. That's all. We ready. First day of practice was today. I know it's one practice, but they was out there looking good. I saw a lot of hand clapping. I saw a lot of directing. I saw a lot of pointing. I saw a lot of
praying,
feet movement. I saw a lot of good activity. I saw there's a lot of positive vibes going for Laker Nation and just the NBA this year. It should be another great season. I'm really looking forward to it. Just excited to get into this. Let's go.
All right, well, let's get into it. Los Angeles Lakers season preview. Obviously, they had their media day. What was it? It was yesterday when they had their media day, right?
Yeah, media day was yesterday.
Yeah, because the Clippers had theirs on Monday. Thomas actually went. So shout out Thomas. He actually went to Clippers media day. But yeah, they had their media day on Monday. They all said the right things for the most part. But you as a Laker fan, what did you think about LA? Well, number one, what did you think about the Lakers media day and the stuff that came out from media day? And then number two, what do you think about just how they look in general and what this team could possibly be this season? Looking at the roster, now that the roster seems to be pretty much set.
Cool. So I'll start with media day. Media day was everything looked solid, but like you said, it's very hard for something to go wrong during media day. There's no opponent next to you. There's no sort of evaluation. You can't really see much. It's media day. It's all smiles and laughs. But media day was solid. We saw the last week. One thing really didn't sit well with me was a reporter asked Westbrook if he how he feels about the Lakers want him there. I don't think
that was a crazy question. That was a crazy question to ask.
It disappointed me a lot. Lakers media has to be better. If we want to build a winning culture, which is something we haven't really had over the past 2 years for the most part, those questions have to stop now. Every player has to feel comfortable here where they're at. Westbrook already, obviously, last year he didn't have a too good affair with the media and the fans. They booed him. The media asked him stupid questions just like how they did yesterday. But that's stuff like that I have to clean up right now. We stop those nonsense media questions. We get locked in. A lot of other stuff is looking good. Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverley, multiple reports of them. Patrick Beverley himself coming out and saying Westbrook has been his best friend so far on the Lakers. Talked about how they spent time together, how Westbrook actually did things for him back when he was on the Rockets. He got his sister courtside seats. A lot of good stuff going on with this Laker team. I thought they did a great job of addressing some of the things that they needed, and that was youth. They got a lot younger. A lot of the times last season, you notice they got a lot younger and they got size. A lot of times last season, you would notice they will have guys who probably shouldn't be there. Like, for example, the guys like Trevor Ariza. Where is he signed now? Nobody has him. There's a reason why he's not in the league now. He's probably 3-4 years out the league. It's just very hard to win games and do things like play defense, make your rotation, stay in front of people when you got Trevor Ariza's, Dwight Howard's, Carmelo Anthony's, guys of that caliber, Rondo, just older guys is out of it. They kind of washed out some of the older guys that they had. That's something I thought really helped them back a lot. And they got younger. They picked up guys like Lonnie Walker's, the Damian Jones's, the Thomas Bryant's. So they moved in the right direction. They still, obviously, there's one major gap in this roster, but I don't think it'll hurt them that much. I'm pretty sure you would agree with this one as well. They don't have too many big wings. And that's a problem. Obviously, you have LeBron James, but LeBron James is, 38 now, right? 38 years old?
Something like that.
38, 39, one or the other. That could be a problem for this roster. I'm not really too concerned about that because everywhere else I think we're very solid. I think when you have talent like LeBron and Anthony Davis, talents like that are built to make up for holes such as things like bad wings. But I think the Lakers are moving in the right direction. Everything is looking very good. I saw Kendrick Nunn out there, a guy who last season we all were anticipating him. We never got him. He's out there. I think he's going to help the team a lot. A guard who can knock down the mid-range, get in transition, score pretty easily, a floater in between game, he finish at the rim. Undersized guard, but he brings something that a lot of the guards we had last year simply couldn't do. And that's break down the defender, get to the rim, get a layup, take some pressure off LeBron, take some pressure off the other guys, and make something happen for himself. I think he averaged 15 or 16 points last season he played in Miami. Can score the ball very easily, picked up Dennis Schroeder. A lot of guards. I'm not really liking how – I'm not sure how it's going to all work out and it's hard to really come out and say who I want starting. It's hard to say I want Damian Jones here, or I think Schroeder should be the starting point guard. I think we really got to play Lakers fans. You really want to pay close attention to what happens in the preseason or whatever reports you can get out of training camp to see who's playing the best. I think that's who they should eventually end up going with. It's more of a rhythm thing. I don't think anybody has done anything in the past to prove that they should be in certain spots. So we just got to see how this plays out. I'm very, very excited. I'm excited to see how Darvin Ham adjusts the culture down in Los Angeles. It seemed like the players were kind of over. Certain players were over Frank Vogel and the methods he had. Sometimes people will question if they respect him or not because he never played in the league. I've heard reports like that. But Ham has been in the league. He's a younger coach. It seems like he's really connecting with the guys. It seems like his energy is really getting around to the entire team, and a lot of camaraderie going on. And it seems like that everything's headed in the right direction. I do think Westbrook should be a starter. I think he should be a for sure starter. I think him, AD, and LeBron should be locked for the starting lineup. I think we got to see it. I don't think you just come off and bring him off the bench off the rip because there's too many possibilities of them. Them three are too great to not try it again. You got to run it back. I know it didn't look too great in the small sample size we got last season, but I think you throw them out there this year. We'll see what happens. We got to give it a shot. If it doesn't work again, after we get a decent sample size, go ahead, try to bring them off the bench, see however that works. You end up sending them wherever that goes. But I think Westbrook, LeBron, and AD should be the only locks for the starting lineup for the Lakers. And then we'll figure out the rest throughout the preseason through training camp, and we'll see how it plays out there. I love the Lonnie Walker pickup, guy who can replace Malik Monk was obviously a huge loss for the Lakers. He ended up signing in Sacramento, who we'll get to later in this podcast. But I think Lonnie Walker can replace the production he had. He averaged a career high about 13 points last season for the Spurs, can score off the bounce. Can get to the rim, can hit an open three, can do a lot of different things. And Malik Monk, he's athletic, can finish over the top of people, things like that. I think he can kind of replicate a lot of what Malik Monk brought, with the spurts of scoring, fun scoring, getting out, transition, lobs, all that fun stuff. Love that pickup. I like how we got more length. A lot of times last year, you notice sometimes Dwight Howard was out of the lineup a lot. AD was out of the lineup a lot. A lot of our bigs dropped, but we picked up a Damian Jones, big 7-foot center who can jump, finish at the rim, finish lobs, pick up Thomas Bryant, and now we don't have to see. Last year, Lakers got killed when they had to. They ran LeBron James at the 5, and that's not going to work specifically under the circumstances you had last season. I don't like that at all. When LeBron is at the 5 and he's not boxing his men out, and he's chasing that Kareem record, he's not closing out on shooters. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. You end up letting Naj Reid get 8 offensive rebounds on you.
Well, that was crazy.
You end up stuff like you end up Bates dropped a guy on the Spurs. I remember he dropped like 35 on the Lakers. Yeah. I can go on and on. Stuff like that happened last year due to their lack of size, but that was addressed in the offseason. You bring a Damian Jones, you bring a Thomas Bryant in, you get a healthy AD. I think that's going to drastically improve our interior for the Lakers. So this is why I'm really excited about this. Well, no more Carmelo Anthony at the 5 lineup. That definitely happened last year as well. No more of that. No more LeBron at the 5. And also, just you bring it up. I really address Patrick Beverley. I also think he should be a starter as well. I think those 4 should be locked for starters and figure out the last spot. But you bring in Patrick Beverley to where when LeBron is missing his rotations, not boxing out Naz Reid and not closing out on guys like Bates Job and not doing what he's supposed to be doing, you have a guy like Pat Bev. Hey, that's your rotation, man. We playing for something here. I know you're trying to do whatever you got to do, but you got to do more to score. You got to do the little things. I need you to box out. I need you to be here. Hold him accountable. Hold AD accountable. Hold Westbrook accountable when he's getting beat back door by Zach LaVine 4 times in a row. When he can't stay in front of the Darius Garlands and different things happen in the league. But I think the Lakers have done an excellent job this offseason for what they had. Obviously, last year we signed a bunch of big name guys. We brought in Westbrook and we signed in the Melo of the world.
Okay. You said all of this. What do you expect? Are they a 6 seed? Are they a 4 seed? Are they a championship team? You said all of this, but haven't said anything. Do you think that their improvements are good enough to make them like you got the 2020 hat on? Do you think their improvements have been good enough to make them a championship contender, or even put them in the conversation with 2 other teams in this very same division that I think we both think that those teams are better than the Lakers?
I believe so.
3 teams, actually. 3 teams, maybe. Well, one is kind of in disarray, so we don't know. But, okay, go ahead.
I think so. If healthy, I think so. Only thing we lack, but there is some couple I would like for him to maybe go out and get a wing, maybe a Doug McDermott, shoot the lights out. Shooter, he's on the Spurs right now. I don't think his price tag will be too high. Maybe a Cam Reddish, bring in a Jay Crowder, kind of unrealistic because we don't have that many assets. But I think we may be one wing piece away from legit saying I can really buy in on this team. But I want to buy in on this team because I feel like LeBron and AD are good enough if on the court to make up for that hole we have with wings. And it's going to come in and it should be a smooth process. But I would like them to go out and maybe acquire somebody else who can defend and shoot to help the space the floor and take some pressure off LeBron defensively on the wing. But I think that this team should be all right as long as everybody's on the court and we get to see what they look like.
How many wins?
53, 52.
Okay, we're lying now. All right. So anyway, Los Angeles Lakers, right? All right, cool. I don't think there's anything the Lakers can do to be a championship team besides make LeBron James 32 years old again. That's the only chance they have to be a championship contending team. Take LeBron James and find the quantum realm that they found in fucking Endgame and send that man back and bring 32-year-old LeBron James and put him on here. And then I think you will have a championship team.
They got 28-year-old AD.
They have 30-year-old AD.
They got 30
years old.
Same thing.
Hey, you might even need to go back in the quantum realm once again and go get 2020 AD.
No, you don't need 2020 AD.
No. You might need to go back and go get Bubble Anthony Davis. If you can go back to October 2020 and go get Bubble Anthony Davis and put him with 32-year-old LeBron, we have done some, and put him with before COVID Russ. We have done some shit. But since I don't think there's any way that you can do that, no, I don't think there's nothing the Lakers can do to be a championship contending team. Now, I do think if healthy, what does that even mean at this point? Because, I mean, again, LeBron James is 38 years old. He's still playing 37 minutes. Well, last year he played 37 minutes. I would assume this year it'll probably be more about 34 minutes a game. But still, you're 38 years old playing. But still, you're 38 years old playing 34 minutes a game. So I don't even know what LeBron James, quote unquote, healthy even looks like. Anthony Davis, it really ain't never been healthy. So I don't really know what that looks like. But I do think that Russ, second year in this, I don't want to say in this system because what the hell was the system last year, but second year on this team. I just think that even when you saw him, granted, it's our off season, the Lifetime fitness videos have scammed us for many years. But at least when you saw him working out at Lifetime, you saw him working on things that I would assume he would be doing in the season. Like, obviously, all right, we would love, for Bron to, move up to the 4 and go to the corner and, let Russ handle the offense. But realistically, that's just not going to fucking happen. So if that's just not going to happen, you need to practice more things off ball, which, he was working on his jumper. I mean, you even saw him, Bron, and AD. I think they was practice and they was having 3-point contest. So you see him working on things, and maybe obviously I don't know who becomes a better shooter in fucking year 14, who has never historically been a great shooter, but at least you can maybe find a spot on the floor where we can think that you can shoot 36% from. And I also think one of the main things that they had an issue with last year was defense. Even when they won the championship, they were never a great offensive team. I think they could score some points, but that wasn't why they won those games. Like, they won those games because they had a great defense. Everybody bought in defensively. So my thing is buy in defensively once again. I mean, you brought in Patrick Beverley. I think Patrick Beverley is a guy who, I don't think he's some superstar or some, lifetime changing player, but I do think he's a guy who can come in, bring a different type of energy, hard nose, and toughness, and hold people accountable. I don't think you'll see as many defensive lapses with Russ if Patrick Beverley's, out there talking. Number one, he's gonna talk. Number one, he's gonna communicate. I'm pretty. You go to a game, you gonna hear. Like I told you, I said courtside. Granted, they was beating the hell out the Blazers. It was New Year's Eve. Probably wanted to get out there and go have fun, but I didn't really hear nobody talking on the court. It was a very quiet game. I guarantee you sit courtside and Patrick Beverley there, you gonna hear somebody talking. Even if he not playing, somebody gonna be talking. So I do think that is a thing that can help them be a better basketball team. But again, I don't think there's anything that they can do to be a championship team. Now, I don't expect them to be what were they, like 11th last year?
I think 11th or 12th. Wherever is out there.
Not granted, I don't expect them to be 11th or 12th. That would be grotesque. But I think maybe 5th, 6th seed, first, maybe second round, depending upon matchup. I do think it's very possible for this team. But obviously, I mean, let's be realistic. This season's about LeBron James taking Kareem's record, We gonna sell a whole bunch of tickets.
No, it's a lot bigger than that.
This season, the Lakers are gonna hang their hat on the fact that midway through the year, they're gonna have no problem selling out games because LeBron James is gonna be near Kareem's scoring record. And then they're probably gonna be a 6 seed and get around into a playoff revenue, and they're gonna get $41 million from Russ being off the books. And then we're gonna just try it again. We're gonna try something again because we have $41 million of cap room. As far as the acquisitions, Dennis Schroeder, I guess. I think he's a good. No. I mean, Schroeder's a good basketball player. It's not like he can't play basketball.
Yeah,
I just think that
playing overseas.
Yeah, like I just think that when you have to depend on Schroeder, which I think the Lakers had to do too much the year when he was starting at point guard, when you have to depend on Schroeder, I don't know if that's necessarily what you want to do, but I do think he is a guy that can add to your basketball team, especially if he's coming off the bench. You have a guy like Lonnie Walker. If I'm Lonnie Walker, I look at what Malik Monk did last year, and I'm like, yo, I'm playing in LA. Even if we are terrible, if I come out now hoop, somebody's going to sign me because I'm going to get some money because the spotlight is always on Los Angeles. So even if we do have a terrible season, I want to come in. This is a guy who, came into the league with kind of injury concern. I think he had a broken foot his rookie year. You've been kind of in San Antonio, kind of under the radar. Also, San Antonio had, they had DeMar, they had Devin Vassell, they've had Doug McDermott. Even DeJounte Murray. Then they got the new guy, Josh Primo. Basically, they've had many people at his position who are like at or around his general position. Where I don't necessarily know if he ever got the time to shine the way he feels like he probably deserved the time to shine. So again, you're coming here in LA. My advice to him would be have the best season of your career. Have the best season of your career, and you will get some money from somebody else moving on next year, whether that be the Lakers, obviously, because they'll have cap room freeing up, or somebody else. Troy Brown, I like that acquisition. Again, same advice to him. If you come out here and you ball, Juan Toscano Anderson, same advice for him. And Juan Toscano Anderson, luckily for him, he comes from a winning culture. So he don't really know what it's like to lose like that outside of the 1 year, I think, in Golden State when, they really weren't playing for anything. Other than that, he's come from a pretty winning culture. And even in Golden State, they didn't have a losing culture. They just weren't winning at that point in time. They didn't have a losing culture. They just had a bad year.
Talking about the year they missed the playoff.
Yeah. Well, the 2 years they missed it. It was 2 years. It wasn't like they had a culture of losing.
In the following year. The bubble in the following year.
Yeah, they just didn't, So again, like I said, I don't think there's anything they can do to be a championship team outside of literally go to the quantum realm, get the same machine that fucking Ant-Man came through at the end. Well, no, at the beginning of Endgame, but do it reverse. Go back 7 years and get 32-year-old LeBron James, then go back 3 years and get Bubble AD, and then get before COVID Russ and put him on the court. Then maybe got a championship team. But I still think they can be a good basketball team. And I think that even with Frank Vogel, right? Frank Vogel historically has never been the best offensive coach. So then you decide to go out and give him Carmelo Anthony. You give him players who have never once been known for defense ever in their life. Literally, right after they won the championship, they was like, well, we're going to change the whole entire roster. Rondo, you know what? Bye. We're going to bring in Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder and guys who have never once in their natural lives been known as defenders. And you know what Frank Vogel does well. If you know nothing else about Frank Vogel teams, they going to play some defense.
That's fact. So, biggest loss was Kuzma, I feel like.
Who?
Kuzma, was it? Kuzma. He was in him and KCP.
Yeah. You take all them away. You give him all offensive players and be like, all right, we know you don't. We know you have historically been, a great even worse. Now, if they were at their peak offense, whatever. But we talking about guys who used to be great offensive players, who are still good offensive players, but they aren't in their primes anymore. You give him that and say, hey, go fix it. Hopefully, Darvin Ham can come with something new. He's black. He's played in the league. He's closer to these guys' age. He's closer to these guys' culture. So if he can come and just relate to them on a man level, and they can just be a better basketball team. And honestly, with the Lakers, man, I just want to see them play hard every night. It was so many times last year where it just didn't look like all of the guys were playing that hard.
That was the Kareem Farewell tour. That was the not Farewell, but that was the Kareem Stat Pad tour. That's what that was.
It was like they were all playing at hard. So
they were bad.
So if I had to put a win prediction, I would say high 48. I would say realistically, I probably think about 45, 46 wins at best.
Not too far off.
At best, but yeah, I don't think they're. I don't think that they are a championship team at all. No way. I don't even know if they're gonna even be the third best team in this division. But
so you basically saying LeBron not that good anymore. That's what you like.
I mean, he's good, but like he's
with good supporting pieces.
I mean, he's good, but he's 38 years old, and also I don't think the supporting cast is that great.
Is he still top 10? It's pretty good. What's the Westbrook? Westbrook, Anthony Davis. Them top 75 of all time.
I mean, listen, he's probably
18,
like
8, right?
Listen, he's probably like 5 to 10. And if I have to win one game for my life, there's still maybe only 2 to 3 players I'm taking over LeBron James. We still probably 5 to 10. I just don't think that this is you could put anybody with LeBron and get the same results. Now, I think if he changed his play style, and he took, I don't want to say more of a back seat, but I want to say just change his play style, and relinquish some ball handling responsibilities. Maybe you don't score 28 a game. Maybe you score 22 points a game. If he relinquished some of his some of his responsibilities and started playing the game of basketball differently than the way he's been playing over the past 10 years, I think you might see different results. But I don't think that's going to happen. So if he's going to keep playing the way that he's been playing, doing what he's doing, again, it's going to continue to compromise Russ slightly. It's going to continue to compromise Anthony Davis slightly. Then I think you're going to get a team that's 45 to 48 wins. Now, again, if this was 32-year-old LeBron James, it don't fucking matter who you compromise because he's so greater than everybody else. So that's my opinion with the Lakers. We can leave it there. I'm honestly tired of talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. My homie is in my homie, shout out Dan, is in my group chat right now talking about we clips and brews and talking about me with the Lakers and everything else. I'm tired of talking about the Lakers until they actually roll the balls out there and play a game of actual basketball. But moving on to the team that we have been blessed to cover over the past couple of years, the Los Angeles Clippers. LA Clippers Media Day was yesterday. Actually, shout out TPJ. He asked a great question to Paul George when he talked about like a team that doesn't have wings, a team that has all the wings in the world, the LA Clippers. He asked him, what do you think about your defensive ability now? And basically he was like, I think we can, switch everything. We can play big or small and not really compromise. I am paraphrasing, by the way, and not really compromise the things that we do. And I think on paper, the Warriors and the Clippers look like the cream of the crop in the Western Conference. Granted, the Clippers have been as much of a theory as the Brooklyn Nets have been over the past couple of years because they a team who I ain't seen on the court that much either. But I mean, obviously, when you just look at this team, I think I think they can play pretty much any way that you want to play the game, unless you gotta deal with. I think the only thing they might have trouble with is like a dominant big man. Like if you got to play the Nuggets and you got to play against a Jokic, I think that's something that you could have trouble with. But how many dominant big men do you see? Again, the Suns don't use Aiden. Aiden look like he don't even want to be there right now. The Suns don't use Aiden, so you look around and really I only see Jokic as a guy who could as the one player that I think that it would be impossible, quote unquote, impossible for them to match up against.
Towns, Gobert, Towns, that Timberwolves front court.
Yeah, but Cat, especially now, is gonna be on the perimeter. Like Cat not gonna take you. Yeah, but Cat not gonna take you down low and just punish you down low. Like Jokic will literally punish you from everywhere on the court.
That's fair, but Towns is still a hell of a explosive.
I feel you, but I just don't think he's but I think that with the way he plays the game, it lends to him being defendable by the Clippers because they still do have like guys like Rocco, they have Kawhi, they have PG, guys who at least make it difficult for him to do the things that he likes to do.
I don't know. So Rocco is you trusted him on Towns?
Yeah, why not?
Though Towns got about 4 inches on him, probably about 40 pounds.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But if you're like 20, but if you're 20 feet away from the rim, you're kind of eliminating that.
All the shots from the 3-point. I know that's where he liked to be, but we don't act like he ain't causing bodies and he ain't got aggressive down there. We seen him go at Embiid. We seen him go at a lot of these big centers in the league. He ain't as sweet as they make it seem.
I'm not saying.
Like
I'm not saying.
Number one pick.
Carl Anthony Towns takes 16 shots. What is his last year? He took 11 2-pointers. He took basically 5 threes a game. The year before, he took, oh my goodness, he took 7 threes 1 year. Lord Jesus Christ.
He was making them shit though. He was making them though.
He shot 41% that year. He was. He shot 6.3 threes in 2020, 2021, and 11 twos. But let me actually break it down to see where he was actually shooting from. Where is it? Shooting by distance. Yeah, see 60 he attempts 30 last year. 33% of his shots were attempted basically under the basket. From 3 to 10 feet, 25%. From 10 to 16% feet, 50%. From 16 feet to 3-point land, 62%. Basically, what I'm saying is he's not down low the whole game, just punishing you consistently. It's a little bit more spread out, so you get to kind of like put smaller guys on him and maybe not lose as much. But when I look at this Clippers roster, obviously I need to see what Kawhi Leonard looks like. He hasn't played basketball in a basically a calendar year. Granted, he didn't have a full ACL reconstruction surgery. Well, no, he did not. No, he didn't fully tear his ACL. It was partially torn, but he did have a full ACL reconstruction surgery. So I need to see how he looks. John Wall, I think, is a huge question mark. But I think the good thing for John Wall is he's never been in a situation where everything doesn't have to come from him. For the most part throughout his career, he's been the guy. Like I've said many times, in 2016-17, there was LeBron James as the best player in the Eastern Conference, and John Wall was right behind him, in my personal opinion, that year. So John Wall has been a guy who has had the weight of franchises on him. He doesn't have to do that here. Reggie Jackson is still coming off a great season. Like his season last year was incredible. PG was a guy that if he didn't get hurt last year, PG was balling. Especially those first couple of months of season, PG was balling. Now you have Norman Powell. Like I said, you still have Rocco. You still have Nick Batum. You still have Marcus Morris. You still have Brandon Boston, Norman Powell, Rocco, Terrence Mann. My only worry is in my personal opinion, the Clippers do have a lot of people who play kind of the same position.
Question for you: Who's the Clippers' third best player?
I think it depends on the night.
Depends on the night,
and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think some nights it might be Reggie Jackson. Some nights it might be John Wall. Some nights it might be Norman Powell. Some nights it might be Nick Batum.
It's not going to be a consistent hitter though. I can rock with that. It's not going to be consistent.
I don't know who, because again, I don't even know. I think rotations are going to be something that's very important for this team. Like I think that even if John Wall starts, I think he should spend most of his time with the bench.
Why is that? So more ball handling duties? Because I know you know PG like to bring the ball to the court now.
And just with the way Kawhi and PG play, like they don't actually utilize a point guard and make them a point guard. So I think that
they don't really get up and down either.
Yeah, so I think that having Reggie Jackson start or play most of those minutes with them fits. And I think that, having a guy like John Wall to get guys like Norman Powell, to get guys like Luke Kennard, to get Marcus Morris easier shots, to get Nick Batum easier looks, to get Zubac easier looks. I think that how you do these rotations will be very, very pivotal for this team. But I do think the sky's the limit. Obviously, health with this team is another huge question. We talk about a whole bunch of other guys who ain't been playing that much either. I mean, let's not seriously. I can't be biased. Go into it. Paul George. This is what Paul George has played since the 18-19 season. 48, 54, 31. So he ain't been a bill of health either. He been out there like a concept himself. He ain't been out now again. When he been there, he been balling. But he'd have been a concept himself. I can't. If I say this about the Lakers, I gotta say it about the Clippers too. We're gonna pull up Kawhi Leonard. Over the past couple of years, Kawhi Leonard. We can even go back further. Fuck, you know what? You know what's the most games Kawhi has ever played?
Like 68
season.
74. Like 68. Okay, that's around.
So he ain't been a build of health either. And also the thing about Kawhi Leonard is he's older than his age because every single year you're having deep playoff runs. It ain't really like Kawhi been sitting down like Kawhi, you know, April and he at the career. No, Kawhi usually playing until at least late May. Usually. So, I mean, you go John Wall. Look at John Wall. I mean, everybody know, not granted, God bless the brother. He's, you know, had some tough times over the past couple of years, but I'm just reading numbers over the past couple of years. John Wall, since 2017-18, this is what John Wall has played. 41, 32, didn't play, 40, didn't play the whole year. So you can either look at that as he got a whole lot of rest or he been injured. Now, some of it is both. Because obviously last year he was healthy enough to play. The Rockets decided they didn't want him to play. That's a whole other thing. Get a whole year to just rest your body. But again, I don't know what John Wall looks like. I have zero idea what John Wall looks like. But on paper, I think that this is arguably the most versatile team in the league, and this is a team that has realistic, legitimate championship aspirations. And to me, it should be health permitting, championship or bust for this basketball team. I mean, even look at the last time they played when Kawhi Leonard even did get hurt. I mean, that Suns series could have easily been 3-1 the other way. I mean, they lost one game, you know, at the buzzer. Other games were like, you know, I think PG missed 3 free throws one game. Like it easily could have swung either way. So, yeah, my thing for this Clippers team, I think they'll probably win about 55 games. I think they'll be either the first to the third seed in the conference, and championship or bust for this basketball team. Joe?
They picked up Moses Brown.
Yeah.
The OKC dude who's excellent rebounder. Oh, that's a good pickup. A backup 5 for Zubac. But the Clippers, same thing. It's all about health. Amazing roster. I'm very interested in seeing the rejuvenation of John Wall. I want to see if he's able to. The Clippers don't usually play fast, but they want to sometimes maybe play fast with the team they're playing against, get into their guard and get out, get some easier looks. It's good, nice to see John Wall can still be that one-man fast break type of guy to get out there and get things going for them. I'm excited for another year of Ty Lue. Obviously, probably a top 5 coach in the league. I don't think there's 5 coaches better than Tyronn Lue currently right now with his X's and O's and his ability to manage different locker rooms and all the vets he's to manage. I think the Clippers, pretty much sky's the limit. Like you said, you added another year of Terrence Mann, a young guy. He arguably is some nights because, like you said, Art's ain't the third base, but he could be the third base player on some nights. We saw him excel in the playoffs a few years ago, and he had his moment. He got, I'm pretty sure, more than 120, over 20-plus points games against the Jazz. That they played him at the 5. Was it just one?
Yeah,
but
like
we've seen, it was a lot. We've seen flashes of him and what he's capable of. Another year of his growth, a year of him to learn under guys like Norman Powell. You learning from John Wall. You learning from Kawhi Leonard. You are learning from Paul George. Learning from Ty Lue. So he's soaking up all this in while being talented. I think this is the 4th year for T-Man, somewhere around there. Yeah. Excellent player out of Florida State. It's just a stacked roster. We're going to see. I'm really interested to see how the rotations work. I think the fact that some of these guys will be in and out the lineup won't even affect them that much. Paul George wants to miss a week or Kawhi wants to miss a week. Extra minutes for Terrence Mann, extra minutes for Norman Powell. If you own any of these players in your fantasy league, you might want to pick them up if somebody gets down. Say extra 10 shots for Norman Powell, Kawhi says. Extra 10 shots for a guy like Terrence Mann. Extra 10 shots for Zubac. They have just guys in space of floor. Kennard is the top shooter, top 3 shooter, top 5 shooter in the league based off percentage-wise. Nick Batum is one of the best spotter shooters in the league. Marcus Morris can knock down a 3. They got guys who can get in the in-between game. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard score from everywhere. The sky's the limit. They got what else do we? Like you said, Reggie Jackson, and clutch shooter. He had to hit a bunch of insanely huge shots for them last season. I remember he skipped up the floor and got that game 1 on the Lakers. That still hurts to this day when he skipped up on Russell Westbrook up the floor. Happy dandy to a wide open layup when Austin Reeves tried to force the baseline, and Russell Westbrook just swiped and he got a layup. And he also multiple big threes. Reggie Jackson, he rejuvenated his career about as good as
facts. Anybody,
with
facts.
The Clippers. So I mean, that might have been the reason why John Wall wanted to go here. He saw how Reggie Jackson was able to come here and just
Nick Batum as well.
Yeah, Nick Batum. A lot of guys come here.
He left Charlotte and came here, and
Ballmer and their general manager crew, they are doing a great job of rejuvenating players and bringing them together and putting out winning teams. They have been having the upper hand over my Lakers for like 8 years now. For the most part, outside of our championship run, the Clippers have been running Los Angeles.
for most of your life at this
No,
point.
no, don't do that. Don't do
They've
that.
had the upper hand for a third of
No,
your life.
no.
Literally for a third of your life. It's
No.
literally been a third of your life.
That's two.
It's literally been a third of your life.
It's still 66%. That's not the majority. You said majority, G. That's crazy.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Fine. A third of your life. Since about 2011, it's been. I just want to put that there, but okay, keep going.
But yeah, pretty much they've been having the upper hand on the Lakers. It's been pretty bad, but I think this is a year LA run through Los Angeles, man. Teams gonna see that LA trip. They're gonna pull up, man. We got the Clippers on Friday. We got the Lakers on Sunday. They're gonna look up. They're gonna be 0-2 come Monday. I think both these teams are gonna be ready. They both hear the chatter. They both know they're both known for not being on the court. They hear all this stuff. I think this is the year they stop all of that nonsense. This has been egregious over the past couple years how much they have not been on the floor. I think there was a Laker Clipper game that you probably went to, when
nobody played.
It was like Austin Reeves and like Xavier Mann for the
wasn't that the Reggie Jackson game?
Was that one? I don't think. No, AD played in that game. Because remember, AD almost hit the game winner. AD almost hit the game winner on the other end. I thought he hit the game winner. But yeah,
play in that game.
But yeah, there's just been a lot of chatter to it, and they hear all of it. I know they're older, but I think this is a year that they really rejuvenate, and we might actually get the Lakers Clippers conference finals that we were all dying for in 2020. No, all right, yeah, all right. I look
Clippers conference finals, but okay.
All right, I might look crazy now. And when the Crip going crazy come May. I said it now, but I think this team obviously extremely talented. We talked about this pretty much all offseason. I project them to get. I think the possibilities. I think I can say about. I wouldn't be surprised if they mess around and healthy. That's about 60 wins. I think this is a 61 team on paper, bare minimum. Even if they do have injuries, like I said, very very insanely deep team. Pretty much every position there's a solid backup. So something good that could probably start somewhere. Norman Powell is starting on a ton of teams. Reggie Jackson / John Wall, whoever's going to start there, either one of them is starting on a ton of teams. Batum is probably maybe even starting on some teams. Marcus Morris is starting on certain teams. A lot of the guys they have on their bench are starters elsewhere. So I think even if they do have injuries, I don't think it'll affect them too hard. So I think sky's ceiling probably like 60 wins, bare minimum. I'd say about 54 at the least. Everything. It should be good heading into this next season. Excited for both Los Angeles teams. The league running through Los Angeles for the first time.
Fair. All right. Well, I think we can leave it there. Moving on, we can talk about a team that I personally think I was actually in. I was in the trade machine trying to do a trade. The Phoenix Suns. DeAndre Ayton said he has not spoken, which I don't think was that big of a deal. The fact he hadn't spoken to Monty Williams, like, what we need to talk for? Do you talk to your employers? When not even your employers, do you talk to all your coworkers when you ain't at work? No, I'm on vacation. Why I need to talk to? It's not my man's. It's not my man's.
It's just weird how like just going through the media. I feel like it would just be better if they just talk to themselves. You talking about some? Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Like, just talk to each other. Do you seem like they just going through? They hearing what somebody else talking about? Like
they was asking me.
They got the little cone to their ear and they like, what do you say? And they just respond like that. Like,
I mean, just Again, I think this would be a bigger issue if we find out throughout the season but again, even throughout the season, you ain't gotta like everybody to win.
And then also, like, once he signed the extension as a coach, you don't think though as a coach, you should once it was max and it was finalized he was coming back to Phoenix, you don't think you should probably maybe want to reach out to the man and have a conversation with him about the next season? I think that might be kind of that's what people can't really. You don't think that'd be kind of inconsiderate? I think so.
Okay,
you really got championship goals and you really want to build something.
Two things. One, just because he got that max don't mean he can't get traded. That just means he on the Suns right now. That don't mean once the deadline passes, he can't get traded still. It's
not the deadline yet, though. You still got to pretend like he's there. You can't just anticipate. You can't just be like, he might get traded, so I'm not going to say nothing.
Yes.
Like,
I get that. I get that. I just don't think it's as big of a deal as people would make it out to be. But regardless of the fact, what do you think about the Phoenix Suns this season? What do you think their ceiling is? And honestly, do you think that they can recover from that Game 7 debacle and everything that happened last year?
The Phoenix Suns, kind of the same roster from last year. Obviously, they're going to lose Crowder. He's not reporting to training camp because he was upset that he will not be a starter for this team anymore. I don't think the Crowder loss affects them too much. They picked up Josh Okogie and they still have Mikal Bridges, the reigning runner-up for defensive player of the year. If not runner-up, he was third, one or the other. Outstanding debate. Picked up him and adding Josh Okogie. Pretty much kind of cancels that out. I'm excited to see. And they still have Cam Johnson, who's going to be looking for an extension soon. He's going to have a bigger role. Obviously, not the defender that maybe Crowder was, not as strong as he was. Maybe can't guard bigger players. But they have the guys to step in and fill the Crowder role. I just think they won't be as good as last year. Last year, wow, last year was insane. They was probably one of the better regular season teams I've seen in my entire life from the Phoenix Suns last year. They was ransacking teams. When they came through to the crib to play the Lakers, it was ugly pretty much from start to finish every time, no matter how much I might have thought we could have stole one from them. And a lot of the times they took care of business last year. They had one player who could score off the bounce, but he was doing it insanely well, Devin Booker. They had Chris Paul another All-Star year. I think he's in like year 19 as well, year 18. He's still getting the job done. Could possibly it would be very interesting to see if Chris Paul can get to another All-Star game. That's going to be interesting to see. I can see them being successful there. Yeah, I feel like they're a lock for probably 8 to 5 seed, but I definitely don't see them getting the 64 again anywhere near that. I think the league might have kind of figured them out a little bit. I think teams will be a little more prepared now when they play Phoenix. They'll know that that's going to be one of the. They know how they did them last season. Teams don't forget stuff like that. They remember what happened. I think teams will probably be a lot more prepared. But I think unless I gotta take a page from the Pavy book, unless they get Aiden, the former number 1 overall pick, and I believe the 2018 draft, unless they get him involved more, this team, they're trying to change their offensive scheme. Mikal Bridges get some moves, get some wiggles, get a shimmy, get a little maybe a crossover to a pull up or something like that. Cam Johnson maybe takes a jump. They'll regress a little bit. I really love D-Book. I think he's outstanding. The top 3, if not top 2 shooting guard in the league. Had a great, outstanding playoff performance his first year. Was good in the playoffs last year. Obviously, they failed to get it done. But I think Phoenix, their ceiling is about, I say 48, 45, 46 wins.
So you had him falling down.
I definitely do. I can't see them replicating what they did last year. I think teams will be a lot more prepared this year for them. And I think Chris Paul takes another step back. I think they did win a little bit without him, but I think that he won't be able to do what he did last year. Say a D-Book injury possibly, which could happen, would affect them a lot more this year than it would last year. And unless they really change up their schemes, like I said, Mikal Bridges gets some moves. They use Aiden a little more often. Cam Johnson will have more minutes. I think they're going to rely on him a little more. If he can come up, maybe up his averages from 12 to maybe 16, that'll help them drastically. He can get him a nice $70 million extension over the next 5 years. That's going to be big. A lot of eyes on him, kind of like the Pat Williams situation in Chicago. He's a much better player than him, but just.
Are we sure about that?
I think,
yeah. You say he's a much better player. You use the word much.
I think that would help. I think the Bulls would be much better if they had Cam Johnson instead of Patrick Williams. I think.
For me, the Suns. For me, the Suns, I'm with you. I think they take a huge step back unless they actually start using Aiden. Again, I've said many times, I think DeAndre Aiden is actually the best player on the Phoenix Suns.
That's why
they don't use him like he's the best player.
You do good though. Best player is crazy.
Also, I think that Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson need to add some scoring off dribble ability. And if they don't, I have a trade that I put in the trade machine. It actually works. Jay Crowder and Cam Johnson throw in some two maybe second round picks for Eric Gordon. Bring Eric Gordon over. I don't know what Eric Gordon has left, but he is a guy who can at least provide a little bit of help in scoring off of dribbles. I think that's what happened last year. It's like you realize at times if Chris Paul and Book don't have it rolling, since they don't give the ball to Aiden, if they don't have it rolling and they aren't, knocking it down from mid-range, what else do they really have? Who else do they have that can really score the basketball like that? But in general, I just think that this team is just probably just missed their shot. Like I think that last year was, their shot. If they were going to win it, they were going to win it or get there again. I thought 2020 was their shot. Personally, I thought that was their shot. I thought that was their shot. But last year, I thought, maybe them against the Warriors, 7-game series, who knows, whatever. But I just think that this is a team that has missed their shot. Like Chris Paul is 38, 39 years old. I don't think that he, won't be good. Granted, obviously, he's a guy that over the past couple of years, he's been pretty healthy. But I am a guy who remembers when Chris Paul was hurt his hamstring every single year, the past couple of years before be for the last couple of years. So it's realistic that that's a thing that may happen again. Also, as far as Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, again, what's actually the next step for them? Like, what is the next step for them? Like, what does Mikal Bridges being better look like?
That's a great question. We saw him last year, and when they had done their backwards against the wall against the Pelicans, I think I'm pretty sure it was Game 5. Was it 2-2? Mikal Bridges put on a hell of a game there. If he can do something like that more consistently, they will need stuff like that. Because a lot of times when they were getting ran by the Pelicans, they weren't getting nothing from Mikal. Mikal finished the game with 8 points, 2 steals, and 4 or 5 rebounds, and maybe 1 assist. They just need him
But is that just who Mikal Bridges is? Like, is he just your, again, I think we all think he's your prototypical in today's NBA 3-and-D wing.
Yeah, outstanding 3-and-D wing with length and all of the above. Kind of like a Herb Jones somewhat. Like an older one.
He's to me in the Trevor Ariza in a Trevor Ariza lineage.
Like a modern day Trevor Ariza?
Yeah, maybe he's a little bit of a better defender than Trevor, whatever, but like he's in to me Trevor Ariza lineage. But like,
can he excel? I mean, we'll see.
What's the
$90 million already? He was but his defense is top tier though. Like,
no, his defense is great. I have no complaints about his defense. I just think that the Suns, again, since clearly they aren't going to use Aiden, and we have to talk about Aiden. Just because Aiden got that money, I don't think that means Aiden is staying in Phoenix. I really don't. I can see a situation in which he becomes frustrated in Phoenix, and that situation has the potential to drag down that entire situation. Reason being is you get picked number 1. He was in one of those rare situations where you get picked number 1, but you already had a young star who was like, it was his team. But I'm the number 1 pick in the league. Like, and I feel like he probably may look at himself like, yo, I can do more. I haven't been maxing out my potential. I can do more, and you guys won't let me do more.
I don't know. He also kind of a dinosaur archetype somewhat. He got like the Andrew Bynum game in 2022. And
you don't have Andrew Bynum. Go, we can't do that. No, we can't. No, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. No, we know.
With the post hooks and
I'm not letting you know. No,
feed me so I can get this left hand hook. I can get this right hand hook.
No,
the only thing he got is a face.
I'm not letting you do that.
Why not?
I'm not letting you do that.
I'm not letting that fly.
By the way, you better have who?
That D-Book shooting that 45% clip from mid range.
I'm not letting you do that.
38% three. Then I'd rather have Chris Paul shooting his mid range. I'd rather have an array of things happening on the offense than DeAndre Ayton, Andrew
Bynum's best year was 18-12, which was a great year. 18-12, and he shot 55% from the field. DeAndre Ayton in his second year gave you 18-12 and shot 55% from the field.
But like Chris
Paul came and decided to take away half his fucking attempts. And then he went to 14-10. And then last year, while only taking 12 shots, shot 63% from the field and gave you 17-10.
I'm just saying that's his archetype, G. It's like I don't want to get the ball to Andrew Bynum for. Like when I got the best shooting guard in the league, arguably. A top 5 MVP candidate.
Okay, that's fine. But then you have Chris Paul, who is 38 years old. He can't be there forever. Again, you would think the foundation of your team is Ayton and Book. You got to bring Ayton alone, man. And again, I've seen too many times. I can even give you a game. It wasn't even
I can give you some times too. Go ahead.
Like I can give you a game, right? It was Phoenix Sixers. They were playing, I think it was in Phoenix. The Suns went up big. All of a sudden, Book and Chris Paul went cold. Ayton out there, they don't get a man the ball though. They just keep swinging the ball around, trying to shoot threes and missing them. So again, I can see a situation where just because he signed that deal does not mean DeAndre Ayton is literally going to be there that whole season. I don't know about that. Look at this. How can you not razzle like more time how well he shoots for mid-range finishes? I'm saying The man needs more touch. And again, I can see a situation where he still might end up with the Pacers. You know that can still happen. He still could end up with the Pacers.
Yeah, it's gonna be him. What, him and Chris Paul? I mean, if they could get back Halliburton, that'd be fire.
No, just Aiden, Miles Turner, Buddy Hield. Pick somebody. He could still end up with the
Miles
Pacers.
Turner and Buddy Hield.
He could.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
He could still end up with the Pacers. Also, I think losing. Granted, I know they kept Bismack Biyombo, and Bismack Biyombo like did his thing last year, especially when Aiden was in and out the lineup. But I think I think JaVale McGee will be a big loss for them. I think that JaVale McGee for the past 6-7 years has been arguably the best backup center.
Great pickup by Dallas.
NBA. Great pickup by Dallas. Obviously, you have Dario Saric coming back. But again, I just think that I don't think they got better. And I think other teams got better. And I don't know how you recover from that Game 7. I just don't know how you recover from that. And in my personal opinion, your cornerstone foundation pieces just isn't happy. And I don't think that the Suns treat him the way that they should treat him. I can understand his frustrations. And I'm going to say this one more time, and then we can move on from this team. I still don't think that just because he got a new deal, DeAndre Ayton finishes the season in Phoenix. Or if he finishes this season, I don't know if he make it through next season in Phoenix.
So, they're going to have to choose between him and Monty or what? That's just...
Maybe they got to choose. Yeah, I mean, you got to choose between him and Monty, him and Book, him and CP. Obviously, CP is leaving, but one of the reasons why Aiden originally didn't get offered the money that he wanted to at first, and also we can't miss out the owner, Robert Sarver. You also dealing with a team that's probably about to get sold. We don't know, who buys the team. We don't know.
I'm done if Jeff Bezos bought him.
If Bezos buy it, it's a good buy. Bezos has all the money in the world and really might want to win basketball games.
I'm jealous of teams with rich owners. I can't do that, man. Not with this situation over here.
But again, like this whole Phoenix Suns offseason ain't been it. It's only been one team with a more knotted offseason than the Phoenix Suns, and that's the Boston Celtics. But this whole Phoenix Suns offseason ain't been it. Robert Sarver, he getting suspended. He's being forced to sell the team. Obviously, Aiden, you've been questions with Aiden. They weren't talking. They was talking. I'm telling you, yes, I'm with you. As far as like how many games they win, I could see 48. I think that I can see 48. I also can see 55, depending on what this locker room is like. But I could see 48 wins. And like I said, I think that just this might become a very interesting and tumultuous situation down there.
Tumultuous situation is crazy.
Situation down there in Phoenix. But moving on to actually one of the more, honestly, I think Sacramento Kings. I think that this is the team that finally has some semblance of direction of what the hell they doing as a basketball program. I don't think that they will be a playoff team, but I think they can be a play-in team this year. I think I think the Sacramento Kings, if all goes well, this to me is a lineup that I would like to see, right? I would like to see Davion Mitchell. I would like to see De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes with Sabonis. That is the 5 lineup that I would like to see. I think relinquishing some of De'Aaron's point guard responsibilities may be good for him. One reason is, if I'm not mistaken, he averaged, I think, 26 points once Halliburton left. And it was like he was a guy who was like, all right, you go score, go score, go score. I think he averaged 26 points once Halliburton left. Davion Mitchell, I think, is one of the best young defensive guards in the league. Sabonis is one of the most versatile players. Keegan Murray looked awesome in Summer League.
Yeah,
Keegan Murray looked awesome in Summer League. And you again still have a Harrison Barnes there. You can also now bring Malik Monk off the bench now. They have Matthew Dellavedova on the roster. I don't know when that happened.
They do. That's okay. Like Kevin Huerter. I like
Makes
that.
Sense. But you can bring Monk, you can bring Huerter. They still have Alex Lynn. They still have Rashawn Holmes, Terrence Davis. I think his name is Chimisi Metu. If I'm not mistaken.
Chimisi Metu. He went to USC. He's not here.
Trey Lyles, Kent Bazemore. Again, like this is a basketball team that I at least have some semblance of what I think they're trying to do. And I think Sacramento has been a franchise where I had no the fuck idea what they were trying to do over the past 15 years. Like they hadn't put together any roster where I'm like, I get it. At least when I look at this roster, I get it. You got, you got your two guards. You got, a defensive bulldog. You got De'Aaron Fox, who's a guy who's electric. He can go score. Keegan Murray, big NBA wing, could be a 3 or a 4. Harrison Barnes, same thing, 3 or a 4. And you have a pretty much I want to say a poor man's Jokic and Sabonis. So I can actually finally kind of rationalize. So I can actually, kind of rationalize what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. The Kings, they got a little something going. I expect them to either be playing or right outside of the play-in. They can be a fun team. I think offensively, they'll be there. They pick the Kevin Huerter pickups, Malik Monk pickups, so really help take some pressure off De'Aaron Fox. They're going to get up and down. I like how they still held on to Rashawn Holmes. He wasn't too great last year. Had a lot of injuries. We're dealing with a custody battle and I think a couple other things. But he's supposed to be back this year. I think he's one of the better backup centers in the league. I think sometimes they might even run the Sabonis, Rashawn Holmes lineup together. I would really like to see that. I think that'd be interesting. Rashawn Holmes gets up and down the floor. He protect the rim. They're going to need him to really – I think they're going to need him to have a really good year because I think he's really the only one who kind of thrives on defense and protecting the rim and doing things like that. I think, like you said, Keegan Murray is going to be a top – I'm projecting to be a top 3, top 5 rookie next year. I'd say at least 12,
Could he win
13.
Rookie of the Year?
Possibly. He could probably I can see that. He's really great off ball. At Iowa, I watched a little bit of him, and even in the summer league, come off screen, come off pin downs, can even create for himself a little bit. Keegan Murray, he should have a great year. Hopefully, he's going to start. Hopefully, he starts at the 3. But I like what they've done. I want to call them. I'm not going to put them in the AAU circuit, but but they probably right there in that range. I see a lot of high scoring games from this team. They're going to get up and down. De'Aaron Fox is going to control the tempo. They got shooters to hit. Davion Mitchell is going to be, like you talked about him, outstanding on-ball defender. He went to Baylor. Brings a lot of energy to the team. Guys like him, they have Bazemore. Harrison Barnes is a veteran. I don't know if you want to really rely on him for all your wing defense, but he's a veteran. He can knock down some shots. He can probably guarantee at least 16, 15 a game from the wing. From the mid-range, he can attack the rim a little bit. Sabonis is probably going to be like one of those guys who not gonna put up all-star numbers, but he won't make the team because he's in Sacramento and the West is loaded with bigs and forwards. So it's not gonna happen. But he'll put up all-star numbers and he'll make them serviceable every night. So Sabonis will be on other teams' scouting reports. He will give teams hell. He'll have a couple of big games. I'll definitely look at him in fantasy. He'll probably average about
because their pace gonna be high as hell too. So
their pace facts. He's gonna be definitely a high fantasy target if you play fantasy basketball. If you're looking for people on the Kings, I definitely would recommend Sabonis, Fox, maybe even Monk might give him some good minutes. But yes, Sacramento will be a fun team. They shouldn't be a pushover. They'll get out and they'll play, and they have talent. Hopefully, they can stay healthy. Who's coaching down there? I know it's not
Mike Brown, which I do want to speak on that. Mike Brown obviously was pretty much, running the Warriors defense over the past couple of years. And I mean, Mike Brown historically has been a really, really good defense. I mean, even if you look at those Cleveland Bron teams, they were always like top 5 in defense. Like those teams were more defensive laden teams. And it's like Bron save us offensively, but defensively we're gonna defend like hell. And we assume if we could get it 80 to 85 with 2 minutes left, you the best player in the league, figure it out. So I think that they will have better defensive principles, which is why I think Davion Mitchell will start. And I think Davion Mitchell was a guy who could be second team all defense next year. Now, granted, I don't know if it'll happen because he's playing in Sacramento and I don't know if people will notice it, but I think that he is a guy that could really excel in this system with Mike Brown. Like, I think a lot of things defensively in the NBA sometimes are a scheme. I think some players, it looks like they can't defend because they are being put in the wrong positions, either scheme or effort, one of the two. I think that he will get these guys to defend. I think that he will put these guys in the best situation to be better defenders this year.
Yeah, they can defend. They might slide. They might get somebody in the play-in. They might be able to make it to the second round of the play-in. They can defend because the offense is there. They got the spacing. They got the dynamic scores. They got the guys who can get a bucket. The offense is
think
there.
they can be at least the 20th best defense in the league this year.
20th?
I think they could be at least 20th. Last year they were 27th. I think they could at least be 19 or 20.
If they're 15 to 20 on defense, they probably honestly put them like I put them like 10 seed, 9 seed if they can do that.
That's
And
probably where.
And stay healthy.
But again, yeah. But again, that's probably where I have them at. I have them at about maybe I want to say 38 wins. 38 wins. At best 40. And I think that they can be like the 10th seed in the play-in. And again, the play-in one game. I mean, you saw what happened. People didn't expect the Pelicans to beat the Clippers. It's one game, bro. Somebody come out there. Nah, for real. Somebody come out there and get hot. Hit, somebody who you didn't prepare for, get fucking 15 points. That wasn't on my scouting report. We are fucked. So, yeah, but all in all, I do want to commend the Kings for at least having a team finally that makes some semblance of sense after all these years. Like literally, there are kids today who have never seen the Kings in the playoffs.
Never seen the Kings in the playoffs? That's wild.
There are high schoolers.
That's facts. I guarantee you. I talked to some of the little dudes.
I think there are people who have went to college who have never seen them win a playoff series. I could be wrong, but I think if you because born in 02, yeah. What did they? They might have been 1 year old the last time they won. Like literally, there are people who do not know the Kings actually played good basketball at one point in time. Humans alive, like fully realized humans.
Yeah, it would be nice if they could have a Chicago type year last season, not as good, but something like that.
Something just
like
to get people excited.
Something like that. If they could maybe get the fan base going in Sacramento, otherwise they might end up in Seattle or something. Who knows? But if they could just keep that franchise alive and the fan base alive and something to have them going for and not be a pushover this year, then you could win.
Yeah, because people may not remember, but that was one of the toughest places to play in basketball when they were good. When they were good, that was a great basketball atmosphere. The cowbells and everything, super loud. Like those were facts. Divock, Chris Webber, Bobby Jackson. Facts. Yeah. Even like earlier than that, Jason Williams, Hedo, Turkoglu, Peja, Hedo. Like those. So yeah, those teams were solid, and if they can kind of bring that culture back there. And again, don't forget Sabonis. Sabonis, obviously, his dad played for Portland. Obviously, Portland is in Sacramento, but I'm just saying he's probably used to the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the West Side, pretty much. Yeah.
But moving on to the last team in this division, and also the reigning champions, Golden State Warriors. What do we expect from the Golden State Warriors? I mean, I don't know if we need to spend that much long on this. I think I expect them to be a team that could possibly win another championship this year. Obviously, Clay will be year 2 removed off his surgeries and coming back. Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins. I can't even imagine the confidence Andrew Wiggins has right now. They have a James Wiseman coming back. Kevon Looney. Obviously, Steph Curry is still Steph Curry. Somehow, people let them pick up JaMychal Green and Dante DiVincenzo. I don't know how the fuck the rest of the NBA let that happen, but somehow they let them do that. Draymond is still there. Yeah, I don't think we need to spend. I mean, again, I think the Warriors probably come out here and win 55, maybe 60 games. And again, I think there will be a team once again right there back in the thick of things. And I think what's beautiful about them is like I can only imagine again the confidence that their young guys have. Like Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Wiseman is a guy who's hungry. I'm sure he wants to come in and show people, hey, I belong, I can play. So yeah, I mean, I think this team will. I don't know what else to say about them besides they'll be good.
You have any the Warriors? This remind me of your Twitter. You have any thoughts for the Warriors fans about your tweet that blew up again today?
Like the Lonzo tweet. Like, listen. I can actually tell you the game happened. It was Lakers. Okay, Hornets. All right. So
was it Lakers Warriors or Lakers Hornets?
Lakers Hornets. So also here was my theory about play. I always say it's hard to build teams around players under 6'4" because of the fact usually they just can't affect the game in every single aspect. Even at that point in time, Steph Curry was still a liability defensively. So I was like,
I got to disagree with that, but okay.
He wasn't like now. He contributed because he did play the passing lanes very well, but there were still things that you could do to frustrate him. Also, he wasn't as strong, which is why those times in the playoffs, his numbers would kind of drop and KD's numbers would be up here because you would stick bigger guards on him, and he wasn't yet strong enough.
I don't think that's the reason why. I think they was showing a lot of. They was running the offense more through KD, and they were throwing a lot of doubles at that.
Yeah, because everybody's and now they was trying that shit in Boston. Shit didn't fucking work.
Had a playoff success without KD even being there. He literally had a whole run.
Yes, I understand that. But that shit wasn't the shit he did last year. It was two different human beings. What he did last year was not the shit he was doing before. No. I have
just defensively or just all
around, all of it.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. You seen the 2016 Western Conference Finals?
Who did they play?
OKC when they came in from the 3-1 lead and Steph was averaging like 28. I mean, you can't just do stuff like that and then say,
listen, hold real quick. But what do we remember most about that series? Clay Game 6. We just do.
That was a big game, but they're not like Steph disappeared that game. Steph was there that game.
I think he had a triple-double. But again, what do we remember most about that game? Klay Thompson was fucking shooting from the logo. Basically, all I was saying was this, right? Here's what I thought about Lonzo Ball. I thought Lonzo Ball would be the new and improved Jason Kidd. And I looked at what Jason Kidd did with the Nets, and I was like, wow. And Jason Kidd couldn't even really shoot back then. I thought Lonzo Ball would be a 6'6" point guard who gave you 18 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 4.7 blocks, and eventually shoot like 37% from 3.
Now you woke up. He was like that wave commercial.
But again, I think he was the youngest player to ever have a triple double. Like we can't act like Lonzo's rookie year was bad. He just got hurt. He was the youngest player to ever have a triple double.
Yeah, it was pretty. It wasn't like not when you're shooting 30% from the field.
But again, if you look at his numbers and put them right by Jason Kidd's, they look identical. So I'm like, we're just. But hold on. Listen, I was thinking at the time, we are looking at the new and improved Jason Kidd.
Probably do the same thing with like Michael Carter Williams or other guards in that.
Michael Carter Williams, people thought he was going to be decent. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I'm just saying, you got to pump your brakes, especially when the shooter percentages look what they look like. It's
but again, I also thought that he would eventually shoot like 37% from 3. I got that part right. He can shoot now.
He can, but he's not in the same stratosphere as Steph Curry, though, player-wise.
Wait. I won't say he can't do it. I think what happened with Lonzo was he got typecasted very early. Because, first year you're there, you're balling, you get hurt, then Bron comes over. Bron comes over, obviously you aren't running the offense no more. You also had Brandon Ingram, who they would let run the offense as well. So all of that, you get traded, you go to New Orleans, there's Zion there, there's B.I., they're still not letting you ever really be a point guard. Then you come to Chicago, and they basically use you as a glorified 2 guard. So he never actually really got a chance outside of his first year to actually really conduct the offense. I think
is that his fault or whose fault is that? He had to take more initiative as a guard, or
no.
Maybe that's just not what he was destined to play.
No,
he also played off ball a lot at UCLA. He wasn't just always hoarding the ball at UCLA. That wasn't really his game. He still made guys like TJ Leaf. TJ Leaf was a first-round draft pick.
TJ Leaf was a first-round pick,
and now he is probably I ain't heard of TJ Leaf.
He's probably in Europe. It's probably in Europe. But one is injuries. He kept getting hurt. Like one is injuries. He kept getting hurt. Remember, like he had like the ankle bone bruise. He was out for 3 months.
It was bad.
Every type. I mean, like even now, he got the knee. Mans don't know when they're gonna see Mans again. So one of it was the unfortunate thing of Bron comes and like, okay, now we went from a team where it's just the young guys. We gonna see what y'all gonna do. To shit, we got LeBron. We can win now. So then you get put in that unfortunate situation. Then you get traded. Then, the other people don't have the same care for you because they didn't draft you. You in a whole different situation now, and you still getting hurt. I just think a lot of unfortunate things happen with Lonzo's career.
That's right. He was still able to do his thing. He still did his thing. Like he had a successful. I think he had a pretty successful stint in New Orleans. Besides the injuries, and he played hell of a when the time he did spend on the court with the Bulls, he was outstanding. But
But he just got typecast, and I think that hindered him from being the player that that is who I was talking about. Again, I was seeing 12 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, leading the league in steals, give me 0.5 blocks, and being able to shoot like 38% from 3.
Then you woke up, G. But I feel you. I get what the vision was, but it was a reach, but it shit ain't get there.
And I also said type player, not literally specifically him. I said a Lonzo type player.
Wait, who is Alonzo type player? What do
I
you
just
mean?
told you. Somebody 6'6", 210, guard, 18 points, 18 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. My thinking was he could be the best player offensively or defensively in any given series.
I guess.
But it didn't work out like that. But thoughts on the Golden State Warriors? I'm sure we both share the same sentiments.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I guess I'll be quick. I said he brought back Andre Iguodala for I think it was like his 19th year. That's interesting. He'll get some playoffs.
They said he's not coming back to coach. All right.
He'll be there to mentor guys. I think he'll be a great influence on guys like Kuminga. But yeah, the Warriors they've been dominating for the past. They pretty much have. I mean, they had obviously a couple years off, but they've been that team in the NBA pretty much since 2015, 2014, 2015. They pretty much have been that team in the NBA that's topping in revenue, selling out, making noise, blowing your favorite team out, making moves, developing their young guys like rarely teams have. All their main core guys that have been there for every championship was drafted by that team. And they didn't just come into the league immediately dominating. Steph had his ankle issues. Draymond was a bench player, role player type. Klay Thompson worked his way up from just being a guy who maybe make 1 or 2 threes off the bench to just being these 3 all-stars. One of them is a superstar. But yeah, it's pretty much, we'll see if they can remain healthy. Obviously, we expect them to contend once again. Very deep roster. They made one of the best trades of the last 3 years, I think, over the past 4 or 5 years. They picked up Wiggins. Outstanding move by the front office. The Timberwolves was thirsty to get D'Angelo Russell so they can appease Towns, and I think that really backfired for the Timberwolves. But the Warriors obviously were rewarded out that heavy. One of the best trades you can make, and you bring Wiggins to play with a guy like Steph, raises his value up immediately. Yeah, he performs in the play. He becomes a guy that pretty much was thrown away by the league to all of a sudden one of the most highly touted players. And probably going to get another.
Strong, but continue.
I mean, no, Wiggins was an afterthought. He would get mad disrespect. You know how the streets was when Wiggins brought up. Well, he don't want to win. He lazy. He don't play no defense.
I always believe
a lot of guys ran away with narratives like that. And then I give you that. I do remember that. That's fair. But like I said, they bring in guys like Wiggins, and they one of the better trades you make over the years. They get Kuminga and Wiggins just to get rid of a guy they didn't need at all, D'Angelo Russell, because they wanted to appease their best player in Minnesota. You bring back a Wiseman this year, number 2 pick, who didn't even really see the floor last year. He hasn't really seen the floor throughout his entire career. We saw glimpses of him. The question mark is still out on him. We'll see if they can get him involved, get him some lobs, make him run the floor. We'll see what he can be. But you don't really lose anybody. You bring in, like I said, we talked about this when it first happened, but DiVincenzo and JaMychal Green there is just insane. The fact that they allowed this is crazy. But we'll see. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm excited to see Jordan Poole's extension. He had a great mainly he had a great first round last year. He really killed the Nuggets, and he kind of production dipped off. But I'm excited to see how much Jordan Poole gets with his extension. Bob Myers and those guys, they make sure they pay their guys. I'm pretty sure he'll stay. I'm pretty sure they'll pay him. He'll end up staying. They don't have any problems going over a luxury tax. So I'm pretty sure he'll get paid, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure they win about probably 50 to 55 games next year. Unless some sort of catastrophe happens, they'll probably get like 40 to 45, but they should be there. The Warriors, yeah, they'll be must-see TV. I know they'll be on national TV all night. I'm really looking forward to opening night, them versus the Lakers themselves. We'll see. I'll probably end up betting somebody the Lakers will win that game. I don't know which one of y'all bet. I'll bet something on that eventually.
Terrible bet.
But, yeah, all right, that's what it sounds like now until it happens. But, yeah, they bring it back to Kevon Looney. The playoff. He won every championship with them. I know he has 2 championships, right? I know he had 3 out of the 4. I think but they bring Kevin Looney back, outstanding center, set some of the better screens in the league, finished around the rim. But, yeah, Steve Curry is still there. Great organization. Steph Curry, I think, is the best player in the league, if you ask me. We'll see what happens again this year. I think last year their playoff run was a little questionable. We'll see how they do if the Giants are still standing up.
Jason Tatum, the North still remembers. Jason Tatum, North still remembers.
We remember your dominant playoff performance last year.
Jason Tatum, the North still remembers. But nah, yeah, I mean, obviously the Warriors, they didn't, lose nothing. Guys got 1 year older, but they also got a whole bunch of other young guys to supplement them, and they'll be just fine. They'll have something to say about all of this, barring injuries happening. Even if injuries do happen, I still think they'll have something to say about this, about the NBA. you know, as we wind down. But I think we can leave it there. I don't know if how many other divisions do we have to do?
We
didn't talk about like
the Timberwolves division or no?
I don't think so. That's like the Timberwolves,
and
Nuggets.
That means we got one more in the Eastern, right?
Nuggets and all them.
Yeah, the Nuggets and all them.
We didn't do the Southwest, so we got 2 more left.
Okay.
So I'm thinking next week let's go south with the. Well, I mean we could damn near do. I mean, because the shit's starting, we could damn near do 2 in 1 week. Do Southwest and then do Southwest and then do what is it, Northwest? I think it's called.
What's Northwest? That's yeah, that's
Southwest and Northwest. Northwest is like Jazz.
No, we did Southwest already. That was Dallas.
Oh, I mean Southeast. Southeast. We did do Southeast and Northwest.
Oh, we haven't done Miami yet? Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
We'll figure it out. But as always, y'all, man, thank you so much for watching Hoops and Brews. Appreciate all y'all. This will be our, I don't even know what season at this point. I think 7th season. 4th covering the Clippers, Joe. We got to get you to some Clippers games this year. 4th covering the Clippers. So shout out to all y'all. Appreciate y'all looking at all the content throughout all the years. And Joe, get your plug in.
Oh, it's a good job. Thanks for tuning in for another Hoops and Brews. Love talking about the Pacific Division. I probably watched everybody in the whole league my entire life. Anyways, give me on Instagram at Joel R. Wilson, on Twitter at the Jolts with 2 S's. All right, y'all. We out.
And as always, follow me on Twitter at Pavy World, PAVY World, all one word on Twitter. All y'all out there, I have a show. If you in the Los Angeles area, I have a show October 8th. At the Viper Room. Tickets are on my website. My website being pavverbs.com. That's PAverbs.com for $10 pre-sale. If you're in the area, please come out and show love. It would mean a lot to me. It's my first show in LA in a while. I got a whole bunch of music dropping. Actually, I have a new single coming out. October 12th. It's called Everything to Me. So make sure y'all look out for that. That'll be out soon. And yeah, man, until next time. It has been Hoops and Brews.